Hello everyone, I'm starting another reading vlog, probably just the weekend. I just finished my first week of work. It is Friday at 6 o'clock and first takeaways. One, my other two jobs that I was previously working, I was running around, I was on my feet the entire time. That is very different than my current job, my new job, so I have not been outside for even a second in the past 3.5 days, which is not great. Other people have been taking my dog on walks, but I have realized that I need to take myself on walks 20 minutes a day. I need to do it. It's not good for my brain health to be inside the entire day, so something to work on for next week. And also, guys, they tell you, grown-ups, tell you that when a company is about to hire you, they look you up on the internet, and of course I knew that. My mom drilled that into my head, my grandma drilled that into my head, but still I was like flouncing around being like, maybe I'll change my channel name, I don't know, I'll think about it. And on my second day of work, they said, oh yeah, we all watched your videos, we were sending them to each other, we watched them, how cute. So, if you're watching now, hi. So not ideal, it could be worse, it's slightly embarrassing, but I'm just talking about books here, I guess it's not the end of the world. But yes, so if you want to avoid that same happening, change your channel name to something other than just your first and last name. Helpful tip from me. Okay, what I am choosing to read right now. I have been reading a very specific list of books the past few days, week or so, because I'm doing another video, and I wanted to break that up a little bit by reading Hidden Valley Road. This is a nonfiction book, and Wallace Johnson, I will link her channel below. She's a hoot, I love her channel, read this and gave it like the highest praise. Raved about it, which is rare for a nonfiction book, right? You don't think they have the same impact of being absolutely obsessed with it, but she is, and other people have been as well. This is about a family in the 1970s, the Galvins. They have 12 children, and 6 of the boys are diagnosed with schizophrenia. So this book is meant to explore their family, the study of the disease, how it developed and presented in different children within a family. I am very excited to read this. Really, people have only said really positive things about this that I've seen, so that is the plan in terms of reading. If I finish it, I could always grab something else, but I was just feeling this, I don't know. I was feeling a nonfiction, which is rare for me, so you just gotta like follow that and go with it. I don't have any crazy plans this weekend. I have a shit ton of clothes to return because that's what I do. I order clothes online and then hate them and then return them, and it's a vicious cycle. But I'm hoping that now malls are open, I can actually try things on because I need clothes that actually fit and clothes that I can wear outside of my home that are not leggings. So that is something to work on this weekend, but just hanging out, having a good time. And I was bored, so I wanted to film a reading vlog. Hello, it is now Saturday, so happy Saturday. I actually just got back from my retail job because I am hesitant to give it up. Everyone is betting against me, saying I'm not going to last a month or 2 months doing my new full-time job and a job on the weekends, but in my mind, I don't want to give up my discount. I really like the people I work with, and I like what the brand stands for. I work at an athletic store, so I'm hesitant to give it up, and I feel like I'm young, I should hustle. But everyone's saying that very soon I will see how sacred weekends are. But I feel like I'll try my best, and it's not the end of the world if I can't end up doing both. But in my mind, it's like book money or miscellaneous money if I just want to like treat myself to something. Okay, I have been reading Hidden Valley Road. I am not too far in, but I am really enjoying it. So I really like how the author, Robert Kolker, is really marrying well the history and where's the knowledge or really lack thereof in the early 1900s about schizophrenia, and going back and forth between that and introducing us to the family and showing us all these different personalities and this growing family. I think he does that really well. He's showing all the different theories that were going on in the early 1900s, different ones from saying it was the mother's fault, it was all about environment and your home environment is saying it was biological, it was genetic. But I think that that's really important to introduce us to what the base beliefs were at the time, to then show how this family will upend all of that. We'll see if that's the case. Seeing the family really from its inception, from Mimi and Don, the parents, and their marriage, saying that even, as teenagers, or obviously all the sons weren't teenagers at the same time, but that it was a violent house. There was a lot of rough housing between the boys that was written off as, boys being boys, or the parents don't want to get involved in, boys just fighting and being brothers, but that it definitely had a darker tone to it, and that there was a lot of tension that maybe wasn't being addressed. So I think that's really interesting to show the development of these boys as children, and then what kind of would happen to them as they grew up. So I'm really enjoying it right now. I also got 2 new books recently that I wanted to show you. First up, I got Open Water, which everyone is raving about right now. It's such a slim book. I don't know why I thought it would be much heftier, but I'm reading this later in the month with Steffi. We're doing a buddy read, so I'm very excited about this. I've heard it's stunning. I don't usually go for romantic couple books, but everyone says it's like a reimagined love story. It's way deeper than, a little bit of cheesy romance, so I'm very, very excited. And then I also got something that I've been meaning to read for a long time, and that's Hurricane Season. The more I hear about this book, like the more intimidated I am to read it. It's supposed to be like brutally violent, and I've followed people that have said it's one of their favorite books of all time, and I follow people who said it was trauma porn and it was too much, and I was thinking that after I got home from work I would do the Life Stories book tag. I'm just not up for it. I'll do it later. Nicole tagged me in it a really long time ago, and I just keep procrastinating. Actually, this woman commented on my May wrap-up, and she was like, "You're lovely, but you say after the 15th, I had to leave." And I know that I say a lot. It's, a filler word. And I know that the rule is if you feel like you're about to say just take a breath instead. But I'm working on it, okay? Don't make me feel insecure about it. I know that, so I'm trying to be more aware of that. But I'm trying, and it's a process. So I will try to be more aware of that. I'm sorry if that annoys people. Watching it back, I was like, oh my goodness, I do say it so much. But when you're just talking and watching the video back, because it's normal to you, you don't hear it as often. But I'm sure if people avoid saying like they can really do it, I'm impressed and I'm jealous. I will try to work on it. How cute baby Riley was. Dad, did you see this? We found all this. We're going through old furniture in the basement because my sister's moving out and she's taking some, and we found all this old stuff. I made this card for my mom. That's when I discovered a hair straightener and life changed. And I couldn't spell birthday, day, but how cute. And then we found a life-size poster of my sister and I wearing my pearls. What else is over here? Another very large rendering of my face, and I remember I refused to put freckles on myself because I used to hate my freckles. It's like for my communion when I had that. And some of my old art during my Lizzie McGuire phase, which is my permanent state of being. And all these cute baby pictures. Me, my sister, and my grandpa. My cheeks, I swear, weighed me down. My cheeks are my parents. Look how cute they are. Oh, my sister. And this is all before my brother was born. So he doesn't have any pictures down here, but that's okay. So cute. Oh, and then last one. My sister and I in the tub. I'm in my mini tub and she's in the big tub. Look at my cheeks. Oh my goodness. Yesterday, after work, I devoured this book. Nobody could talk to me, nobody could look at me. It is so fantastic. So you really are drawn into the family and their dynamics, and it's definitely dark, and you really see the trauma that this family is living through. Specifically, it focuses a lot on the two youngest siblings, the two daughters, Margaret and Lindsay, and they really suffer horrific abuse at the hands of their brothers, and then this denial or this excusal of the abuse is re-traumatizing from their mother that excuses their brother's actions. But it is truly harrowing. But I think the author really is looking at them with so much empathy and so much understanding in the context that at the time there was so many differing ideas about schizophrenia, and there was really a lack of knowledge. And when these episodes would happen with these brothers and they were taken into this facility and treated temporarily, they would just be sent home again. And it was really this cycle of they would be okay for a time, and then something really dramatic and scary would happen. They'd be sent away again, and then, sent home. Right? But nobody really had the answers and the actual medicine and the knowledge to help them. So it really talks a lot about the drugs that these brothers were given and what the industry thought at the time was helpful, but really would cause other health problems or would put them into these catatonic states. Well, the nature of this book is that you're looking at this one specific family's experience, and obviously having 12 children, they did not have a lot of financial resources, but they had endless connections through their parents. And because if you were looking at schizophrenia in Black or brown communities, it would be a very different conversation. So again, this is a very specific look at how people with schizophrenia were treated. The specific family who was white, had resources, had connections, but I still think it's a worthwhile book to read to get that one specific angle, and then the larger commentary about the knowledge or different findings about schizophrenia at the time, and hopefully coming to something a little bit more holistic. But it definitely is a nuanced book. It's not trying to villainize one person or the next. It's sometimes critical of the parenting style of Mimi and Dawn, but it's not outwardly blaming them for anything, which is refreshing after hearing all of the different beliefs about schizophrenia being caused by a bad mom. But I'm absolutely loving it. I think it's fascinating, and I'm appreciating the fact that it follows all the children into their adulthood, specifically the two daughters, and showing them getting help and working through these issues and working through the abuse and the traumas that they suffered as children, because it definitely shows the tension and the violence that happened in the home, and coming to terms with that and understanding that it wasn't their faults as little children. There was nothing they could do, and they were stuck in this situation even though their parents tried. There was just a lack of knowledge. So I'm loving it. I cannot wait to finish it. It's phenomenal. And right now I look like I'm going to summer camp because it is my little cousin's birthday, and even though it is 95 degrees outside, I have been told that there are mandatory games. So to come prepared with that knowledge. So I'm going to be a sweaty mess, but doing it for the kids. So that is the plan for the rest of the day. We are just about to leave, but I just needed to check in and tell you how fantastic this book is. Okay, I'm taking a little pause from bookish content to show you the garden. I am very excited. First, I'm going to show you the little collie babies who are actually now pretty huge. I am very excited. And then some little tomatoes. But the real star of the show is this, albeit massive and slightly out of control, blackberry bush. So this was a COVID activity, and we did not do our research and realize how big blackberry bushes get. So we only did 2, but it is now taken over, and it's actually blocking the sunlight of the peppers, but who cares about peppers when you could get berries? And now look at all the little flowers. I am very excited to get berries. We are ending this on my phone. It's probably not great quality, but that's what we're working with. I finished this book. I loved it so wholeheartedly that, please read it. I don't even know if any words I say can get across how fantastic this book was. It's definitely deeply disturbing, so be warned of that. I think it shows really well a lot of the violence and fear that affected everyone in the family, people who were struggling with schizophrenia, but also people that were stuck in the situations as young children that were put in harm's way and abused in a lot of ways. I think the author did such a fabulous job of really doing justice to the family, right? He talks about at the end in the acknowledgements that the family helped him make this book, and they did the deep digging of all the really old medical files, and that they were willing to relive past traumas to make this book come to life. And you just can really tell that he was writing with respect and compassion. And I think he also showed all the different emotions that were happening within this family. He showed the shame and the resentment and the guilt and the anger. But then he also shows at the end of Mimi's life, when she's dying, she's the mother, the matriarch of the family, and her children come back to her bedside. And in a lot of ways, as adults, they can recognize, and they have recognized, in a lot of ways, she didn't do right by them. But they also, as adults looking back on the situation, can recognize that as a mom, she did not give up on her sick children when the rest of the world did, and when the medical world couldn't help them, she didn't give up on them. So they can give her a little bit more credit while recognizing that they really didn't have the childhood that they deserved in a lot of ways as well. So I just think this was a spectacular feat of research and telling of a family story, and it absolutely fascinating in a lot of ways. And at the end of the book, it talks a little bit about more modern arguments around neurodiversity and about not wanting to so heavily medicate people who are on a different, whose brains work differently. And I think it didn't obviously go into those arguments even a little bit as fully as I would like, but that's something else I could seek out, books I could seek out on more of those topics. But what this book was trying to achieve, it did tenfold. Absolutely spectacular. And I have since started reading, actually want to see what Marco's reading right now. He's reading a literal textbook. He left this at my house. So that's what Marco's reading. If you care to know, Black Holes and Time Warps. What I have started reading, no one is talking about this, by Patricia Lockwood. I am hoping this gives me a moderate dose of millennial anxiety, being cautious about our use of social media, but also knowing that we're in too deep. So that's where I like to be, somewhere in that area. But if you've read Hidden Valley Road, or if you plan on reading it, that is what I would love to chat about. Please message me, seek me out on the interweb. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe if you feel so inclined, and I will see you very soon in another video. Bye, everyone.